Dopamine, what you need to know to stay motivated and balanced. Hello. Today we're diving into a topic that literally fuels your brain, dopamine, what it is, why it matters for ADHD, and how to boost it without burning out. I'm Dr. Stacy Reuille-Dupont. I'm a clinical and somatic psychologist plus wellness strategist for entrepreneurs, high-performing humans with ADHD, and those reset-ready folks who are willing to change, open to receiving help, and ready to stop the cycle before it's too late and you are burned out and blah. In this video, we are going to talk about how dopamine specifically impacts ADHD individuals. If that's not you, then check out one of my other videos on dopamine, motivation, health. There are some links in the description below. What is dopamine? Let's start with the basics. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, basically a chemical messenger in your brain. It's involved in your reward system, your motivation, movement, attention, and pleasure. So think of dopamine as your brain's own go signal. When it's working well, you'll feel focused, energized, you'll feel ready to take some action. But here's the kicker for ADHD brains. Our dopamine system doesn't fire the same way. We often need more stimulation to get that same go juice that other people just get from ordinary tasks. That's why we're drawn to novelty, urgency, or sometimes even chaos. Sound familiar? In short, dopamine equals motivation fuel, and without enough of it, ADHD brains, we stall out. Here's why this matters. When you're living with ADHD, your baseline dopamine is often lower or your receptors are less sensitive. So that means you procrastinate until the last second. You chase dopamine with things like text scrolling and Instagram scrolling, sugar, shopping, sex, substances, risky behavior. And then you crash after a big high and get that nasty dopamine hangover that sometimes lasts for days. Listen, this isn't about bad behavior. This is biological survival. Your brain is doing what it knows to stay alert and engaged, but we can work with it, not against it. Let's talk about the dopamine downside for a minute. With ADHD brains, they chase dopamine spikes. But then whatever goes up must come down. So they'll get that boost from caffeine, from sugar, from a last minute deadline, or even just binge watching Netflix. But then they'll crash, and they'll crash hard. And that crash, it's called a dopamine hangover. You feel exhausted, unmotivated, sometimes even depressed or anxious. And then that cycle will start all over again, because unless you do something to get it going again, you feel like crap. So let's do it intentionally. So here's how we boost dopamine naturally. So the good stuff. This is how we support dopamine in a healthy, sustainable way. It's where movement, meals, and nervous system regulation, otherwise known as mental health, come in. So let's start with nutrition. Foods that help create dopamine naturally include things like protein-rich foods, so chicken, turkey, eggs, tofu, beans, tyrosine-rich foods such as bananas, almonds, avocados, sesame seeds. Things that have omega-3s like salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, and probiotic-rich foods like kimchi or yogurt, because your gut also helps make your neurotransmitters. Let's talk about movement. Exercise is one of the most effective ways to boost dopamine, especially for ADHD. So try some things. 30 minutes of cardio, brisk walking, biking, dancing. Strength training, which is like gold for dopamine. Look for short circuits. They're really great for the ADHD brain, and 5-minute movement snacks throughout your day. Somatic practices can also be big helps. Things like breath work, cold showers, novelty, creative expression will all help you modulate your dopamine without frying your system. So here's some key takeaways. And here's what I want you to remember. Dopamine drives motivation, but ADHD brains don't regulate it the same. 2, you're not lazy. Your biology just works different. And 3, you can support your dopamine intentionally with smart movement, intentional meals, and nervous system care for your mental health. Most importantly, you can learn to work with your brain and not fight against it. If this hits home for you, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow ADHD brain. If you want more support, you can check me out at stacyRD.com, sign up for my newsletter there, or studiob.life, We work on strategies to align your mind, body, and your business. You can specifically check out my work with embodied entrepreneurs, ADHD executives, and reset-ready individuals who are taking control of their psychology and physiology, creating lives that they thrive in. You've got a powerful brain, and when it's nourished, balanced, and regulated, you can create anything. So stay curious, stay moving, and I'll see you next time.